Their closeness with Pakistan, especially Munir, has been hosted twice.
You know, we only know about NATO these days, but there used to be organizations called SEATO and CENTO, and Pakistan was a member of both. The ISI actually was set up with American guidance and cooperation, we know that. The terrorists Pakistan breeds to attack us, they are not the ones attacking America. So the day the Pakistanis called our DGMO, Director General of Military Operations, and said, we want to call it off, we said, fine, let's call it off.
So there's no role of Trump.
I mean, no one needed to persuade us that if Washington persuaded Islamabad or Rawalpindi to stop, then we have every reason to be grateful.
The bigger, I think, trouble more is a strategic in nature. Their closeness with Pakistan, especially Munir, has been hosted twice. And we are seeing some kind of a cooperation between US, increased cooperation between US and Pakistan. So you have been to US after Operation Sindoor. So at this point of time, in the backdrop of what has happened in Pahalgam and all that, this is giving a very, very bad vibe or bad optics to India also.
Right, so we have been shaken by this. We have allowed ourselves to forget that Pakistan is an old ally of the United States. You know, we only know about NATO these days, but there used to be organizations called SEATO and CENTO, and Pakistan was a member of both. And they were allies of the US at a time when we were non-aligned. So the US traditionally was closer militarily and strategically to Pakistan earlier. And then, as you know, a number of degrees of cooperation got intensified when the Soviet Union marched into Afghanistan, and Pakistan became the base for the American orchestration of the whole Mujahideen efforts to overthrow and push out the Soviets from Afghanistan. During that time, intelligence cooperation intensified. American intelligence agents and ISI agents, the ISI actually was set up with American guidance and cooperation, we know that. There's a whole lot of history there that we have allowed ourselves to forget because of the more recent years of warmth. So we've had 30 years of warmth between India and America, true, but the old history should not be forgotten. There are still very many Pakistani military officers who were trained in America, who have been to American defense colleges, who are friends, batchmates from American armed forces. You have a number of Pakistani intelligence operatives who have worked and been trained by the Americans and who are close to their counterparts. So we should never lose sight of the fact that these relationships have been long and deep. And though there was definitely a setback after 9/11, when the Americans were very angry with Pakistan, and there was another setback for the Pakistanis when Osama bin Laden was found on their soil living in an army safe house and near an army camp in a cantonment city. Despite all of that,
Trump has
the
forgotten that.
Pakistanis have managed to persuade the Americans that they are still an indispensable ally in counter-terrorism. Again, you know, we must not forget that the terrorists Pakistan breeds to attack us, they are not the ones attacking America. The ones who are attacking America, ISIS, Khorasan, Daesh, people like that, those are groups which are also attacking the Pakistani establishment and the Pakistani army. And for them, therefore, to go after those people and tell the Americans, see what we're doing for you, is a very successful strategy. So, for example, when the Americans were withdrawing from Kabul, there was a bombing at Abbey Gates at Kabul airport where 23 Marines were killed. The Pakistanis made a big shusha about finding the Abbey Gate bomber and handing him over to the Americans. The Americans are very grateful to Pakistan and to General Munir for doing that. Now, I don't know whether the fellow they handed over was really the main culpable person. There are anti-terrorism experts who tell me that the person is merely a patsy, that he is neither number 1, number 2 or number 3 in the operation that killed those American Marines. But if the Americans are willing to believe that Pakistan is cooperating with them in anti-terrorism, then so be it. Now, all of this history I mentioned to say that there is a relationship between America and Pakistan that is independent of India. However, given the recent context for us, as you said rightly, Operation Sindoor and our very, very troubled and tense relationship with Pakistan, it looks very bad in India. And definitely there is no doubt that when Mr. Trump claims to have ended the war here, when he has not even called India, and as far as we are concerned, we never needed persuading, because from the day one of Operation Sindoor we said, we are only targeting the terrorists, there's no retaliation, we are over, we are done. If Pakistan hits us, we'll hit them back. And if they stop, we'll stop. So the day the Pakistanis called our DGMO, Director General of Military Operations, and said, we want to call it off, we said, fine, well, let's call it off.
So there's no role of Trump, as you say.
I mean, no one needed to persuade us. Our messaging and our signaling was clear from every day. If you were watching the same briefings I was with the Foreign Secretary and the two lady colonels, they were saying the same thing every day. If they stop, we will stop. But as long as they hit us, we're going to hit them back equally hard, if not harder. And that's what happened. So it's possible, however, and this is what I said in Washington when I was asked, that if Washington persuaded Islamabad or Rawalpindi to stop, then we have every reason to be grateful. And perhaps that's something that we may be overlooking in our objection to what Mr. Trump is saying is, we don't know what went on between Washington and Islamabad. Maybe Mr. Trump lent very heavily on the Pakistani generals and said, do not escalate your retaliation because we want peace between you and India. For whatever reason, I mean, if they did that, then we should certainly say we appreciate that, even though we didn't ask for it. And we did not ask for it because we don't believe in anyone mediating between us and Pakistan.